On July 6, 1907, the Irish crown jewels were stolen from Dublin Castle. Valuing at around $20 million, the stolen gems have never been seen since. The Irish crown jewels were not actually linked to the monarchy but to the Order of St. Patrick. The description crown jewels was officially applied in a 1905 revision of the Order's statutes. The Order of St. Patrick was founded in 1783 by George III as King of Ireland to be an Irish equivalent of the English Order of the Garter and the Scottish Order of the Thistle. The Order's most famous insignia were the badge and the star used by the Lord's Lieutenant. They were made available for the serving Lord Lieutenant's use in 1830 by William IV. The insignia were made from 394 stones taken in part from some of Queen Charlotte's jewellery and from one of the Order of the Bath badges which had belonged to her husband George III. The large 8-pointed star of the order was composed mostly of Brazilian diamonds. Portraits of the various Lords Lieutenant which hang in Dublin Castle clearly show the badge with a trefoil of emeralds at its center within a ruby cross upon a background of blue enamel. The motto of the order was spelled out in rose diamonds in Latin, Quis separabit? Who can separate us? The badge, which was also a trefoil of emeralds within a ruby cross backed by a blue enamel band and bearing the same inscription, was further enclosed within an oval of large Brazilian diamonds. When not being worn or cleaned, the insignia were in the custody of the Ulster King of Arms, the senior Irish officer of arms. They and other jeweled insignia of the Grand Master, together with the colours and badges of the Knights Companions, as well as the seals and archives, were to be safeguarded by the Ulster King of Arms and kept in a bank vault. In 1903, the Ulster King of Arms offices within the Dublin Castle complex were transferred from the Birmingham Tower to the Bedford Tower. The jewels were transferred to a new safe which was to be placed in a newly constructed strong. The new safe was too large for the doorway to the strong room, and Sir Arthur Vickers, the Ulster King of Arms, instead stored it in his office. 7 large keys to the door of the Office of Arms were held by Vickers and his staff, and 2 keys to the safe containing the insignia were both in the custody of Vickers. One was carried by him constantly and the other was kept in a locked drawer in a desk at his home. Vickers was known to regularly get drunk on overnight duty, and he once awoke to find the jewels around his neck. It is not known whether or not this was a prank or a practice for the actual theft. In May 1907, Vickers had mistakenly left the first key attached to a key ring with his other office keys, but a maid had found them and sent them to the Chief Herald's office by way of a male servant. The insignia were last worn by the Lord Lieutenant, the 7th Earl of Aberdeen, on March 15th at a function to mark St. Patrick's Day on March 17th. The last confirmed sighting of the jewels was on June 11, 1907, when Vickers sold the regalia to John Hudson, the librarian of the Duke of Northumberland. The jewels were discovered to be missing on July 6, 1907, 4 days before the start of a visit by King Edward VII and Queen Alexandra to the Irish International Exhibition. On the morning of July 3rd, a cleaning lady, Mrs. Farrell, found the entrance door of the strong room unlocked, but no explanation was demanded. On the morning of Saturday, July the 6th, the door was opened once again, but yet no action was taken. When at 2:15 p.m. on the same day, Vickers asked William Stevie, the messenger, to deposit the collar of a deceased knight in the safe, it was found that the safe was in fact already opened and the jewels were nowhere to be seen. No one could be quite sure when exactly the theft had taken place. A police investigation was conducted by the Dublin Metropolitan Police. Detective Chief Inspector John Kane of Scotland Yard arrived at July 12 to assist. His report, which was never released, is said to have named the culprit and to have been suppressed by the Royal Irish Constabulary. Vickers refused to resign his position and similarly refused to appear at the Vice-Regal Commission under Judge James Johnson Shaw into the theft held from January 10, 1907. Vickers argued for a public royal commission instead, which would have had power to subpoena witnesses. He publicly accused his second-in-command, Francis Shackleton, of the theft. Kane explicitly denied to the commission that Shackleton, brother of the explorer Ernest Shackleton, was involved. Shackleton was exonerated in the commission's report, and Vickers was found to have not exercised due to vigilance or proper care as the custodian of the regalia. Vickers was compelled to resign, as were all the staff in his personal employ. In the House of Commons, in August 1907, Pat O'Brien, a member of the Parliament, blamed loyal and patriotic Unionist criminals. Lord Haddo, the son of the Lord Lieutenant, was alleged by some newspapers to have been involved in the theft. Augustine Birrell, the Chief Secretary for Ireland, stated in the Commons that Haddo had been in the Great Britain throughout the time period within which the theft took place. In November 1912, the London Mail alleged that Vickers had allowed a woman reported to be his mistress to obtain a copy to the key to the safe and that she had fled to Paris with the jewels. In July 1913, Vickers sued the paper for libel. It admitted that the story was completely baseless and that the woman in question did not exist. Vickers was awarded damages of £5,000. In 1912 and 1913, Lawrence Ginnell, another member of the Parliament, suggested that the police investigation had established the identity of the thief and that his report had been suppressed to avoid scandals, and that the jewels were at present within the reach of the Irish government, awaiting the invention of some plausible method of restoring them without getting entangled in the criminal law. In 1968, the Irish journalist Bulmer Hobson published an account of the theft which stated that the jewels had been stolen by Shackleton in complicity with Captain Richard Gorge after they had plied Vickers with so much whiskey that he had passed out. Hobson claimed the jewels had been taken to Amsterdam by Shackleton and pledged for £20,000 with the proviso that they will not be broken up for 3 years. Another theory suggests that even though there are no evidence, the jewels themselves were probably broken up within a short period of their theft and incorporated into other smaller pieces of jewelry. It seems highly improbable that such conspicuous pieces could remain in private hands to date without being discovered. Even though there are many theories as to what happened to the Irish crown jewels, to this day, no one really knows what really happened to them.